Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday. It's March 30th. Once again, we're here in the annex for our little close-up. And this morning's clickbaity headline for the stream, if you've noticed, I've been doing sort of clickbaity just for fun. Um, Clickbaity parody headlines for our live streams. It's tired just saying, here are some kittens. Um, Anyway, this morning's there's just a little bit more to it than usual, because I know a lot of you want to hear about Dover. Dover is the one that we talked about a little bit yesterday. He's this one right here. There we go. He's the one that gets the mark in the middle of his back. I don't want to bother him just enough to see that he's still nursing. He's still latched on and nursing. He's taking a nap, buddy. I think he's taking a nap now. That's fine too. He did eat quite a bit already this morning. As you can see, we've got three kittens in there with mom having their free time to nurse. It looks like they're all basically done, though. They've been in there for a while, taking a nap. Mom's out cold. Oh, I guess I woke her up with my talking. She's very tired. That's Port. Port has 8 little baby boys, 3 of them in there, and 5 of them out here in my lap so that those 3 could get an easier chance to nurse while these guys wouldn't interrupt them. These guys have all decided now to take a nap out here while they wait for their turn to go back to mom. They're being very cute. So now that we're rolling, let's talk about Dover a little bit. Yesterday we talked about him and we mentioned that he has been making some noises when he breathes, like he was snoring, and he was doing it last night. And throughout the day yesterday, he was doing it, and I feel like it started to get a little bit worse. And then finally, we talked to our vet. I sent her a video of his breathing. I sent her, Dr. Katz is our wonderful, wonderful vet. I know I've mentioned her before. She's fantastic. She's always there for us, and it seems to me like I'm always contacting her after hours when she's at home, relaxing with her family, and I'm texting her. It's the nicest thing that she lets us do that. I've never had a vet before that would let me text them at home, and she, actually, the very first time that I brought anybody to her practice, she gave me her pager number. She said, "Call me anytime you want, text me anytime you want." And that was, like I said before, that was before she, even knew what we did, or that we had this internet thing happening, or that we did kittens fostering. Just, I bet she does that for everybody. So she's a wonderful vet. Anyway, I sent her a video of Dover's breathing, and I told her what had been going on. I titled the video "The Sniffs of Dover." I was pretty proud of myself for that one. And she had a look at it, and she kind of gave her usual advice for this circumstance, which is more or less what I expected, which was to give him a spa treatment. You guys might remember from Yuki, who I mentioned in yesterday's close-up, who originated the term. The spa treatment was us giving the kittens a steam treatment by turning on the shower and letting the bathroom get real steamy, and then we just go and hang out with them in the shower, not in the shower, in the bathroom, in the steam, and let them breathe in some steam for a little while. That can help get some things moving. Now, in Yuki's case, like I mentioned yesterday, her problem was nasal polyps, and those caused her to get repeated URIs, and the steam treatments may or may not have actually had any good effect on her. However, in Dover's case, the steam treatment made his breathing sound, I'd say it made it sound even worse, and it was actually better, but we'll get to that in a minute. So after the steam treatment yesterday, DJ and I were looking at him, and we were starting to get a little bit concerned. So we brought him in with the advice of our vet to the central emergency vet, which is the one that our vet likes and the one that we've used many times now, that is a very good emergency vet out in North Haven. And long story short, then, they checked him out fully and determined that he has what is called an aspiration pneumonia, That's basically when you get a little bit of stuff in your lungs. And So they treated him there with a couple of things, and then they gave us some antibiotics and sent him home with us. And that's basically what you do for it at this stage is just antibiotics and some extra care here and there. And that's exactly what we'll be doing for Dover. So right now things are looking very good for him. Um, DJ had a look at his X-rays last night, and DJ had said from looking at DJ, by the way, DJ, you guys know, is a doctor. She's doing her residency in internal medicine, but she is also going to, not quite yet, but she's working on going into a specialty of pulmonary, ICU and pulmonary. They combine those into one specialty, but that means pneumonia is right up her alley. That is exact. I mean, in people, not in kittens, quite naturally, but it's exactly the kind of thing that she will be working on as a doctor very often, and has worked on very often. So she had a look at his X-rays, even though she doesn't know anything about cats, and she said that it looked very good to her because it wasn't florid yet or anything like that. It was just it was still pretty contained, and it seems like we caught it um, very early on, and there's a good chance that that treatment's going to work out very well. So I wanted to let you know that DJ thought it was looking good so far. Anyway, here's the practical upshot of that, which is first off, DJ and I are having some discussions about our feeding protocols to see if and what we're going to change about them to try to avoid this kind of thing from ever happening. And just to be clear, it's not entirely clear that it's the feeding protocols that were the cause of it. In fact, one of the other possibilities is that um, one of the things the doctors treated him for while he was at the ER is that they said his digestion was a little bit backed up, and DJ suggested it was possible if the digestion was backed up, he could have spit up some food, and that could have been what caused it. Um, but we don't really know, and of course, we want to take every precaution. So it's good for us to assume, um, or at least consider strongly the possibility that there's something we did or could have done differently. Uh, and so we're working on that. DJ and I haven't quite yet agreed on what the new feeding protocols should look like. So in the meantime, that's why we've got these kids separated. And we're encouraging them strongly to nurse because one thing DJ and I can agree on is that nursing is fine if we can get them to do it. So that's working out just fine so far. And their weights are all good this morning, so no worries anyway. That's what I was saying. The practical upshot of the situation is first off that, like I said, we're going to be changing around their the feeding protocols and our own little rules about what to feed and when and how to do it. And then, the steam treatments. Yes, that's what I was going to say. We're going to continue to give him steam treatments by the way that we do that is we fill up the bathroom with steam, like I was saying, and then we just bring him in there and stand in there with him for a little bit and let him breathe in a little bit of the steam. And just like yesterday, when I gave him his steam treatment this morning, we came out of it and his breathing sounded much worse. It sounds very wet when he comes out of the steam treatment. And that's actually probably a good sign. It means that that stuff that's in his lungs is starting to come kind of get worked loose and come out. So it's a little tough to listen to, but we're taking it as a good sign. So we're going to keep up with the steam treatments, and I want to do it a little bit better in the long run. And this is the steam treatments are something that has come up, repeatedly. I keep referring to Yuki, but we've done it for many kittens over the years. So I finally decided we probably should have a nebulizer and not have to steam up the whole bathroom. So I ordered one. It will be here tomorrow. And tomorrow we will switch from doing the full spa steam treatments to doing a little nebulizer for him. I think that will work out. I see a lot of questions going by in the chat, but I can't see them too well from this weird angle I'm at because this is me. See, I'm leaning over these kittens and trying to film backwards. And I'm not using the front cam either. I'm using the back camera, so I'm leaned way over. Um, but I did see a couple questions fly by, like, is it contagious? Could we have to worry about the other kittens? Absolutely not. It's not contagious. We don't have to worry about the other kittens. I asked, can they cough stuff up? I haven't seen him do any actual coughing yet, which I know cats can cough, can't they? I guess I don't actually know the answer to that, so I'm not going to speculate. But what we're doing is the right treatment for him, and that stuff will get worked up over time. So, like I said, we're doing everything that can be done, and if anything happens that would indicate a turn in his condition, we will bring him right back to the emergency and give him all the finest care, I guess is my point. Really, from my amateur sort of unprofessional opinion, is that he doesn't seem like he's doing too poorly. His breathing is a little hard to listen to, but aside from the fact that he's making weird noises, he doesn't seem like any different than the other kittens yet. This isn't him, by the way. This is Bombay having a look out. So, yeah. So I saw Zoe Wynn ask the question. I'm sure Zoe's not the first one to ask the question. It's going to be asked a lot. The question was, did he aspirate from a tube feeding? So I want to head that off right now. Like I said earlier, there is definitely a chance that it had nothing to do with that whatsoever. There's a chance that he could have just coughed up some food, and DJ said that there's some good reasons to believe that's the case because of the way his digestion was a little backed up. But like I said, the reason that DJ and I are talking about our feeding protocols is we want to consider every possibility and figure out exactly what to do. Um, and Also, we're considering. Um, I I've said this before. I'm just going to tell you what my gut says right now, okay? Which is nothing to do with the facts, and it's just a one factor in the decisions behind what we're going to do from here out. But my gut wants to believe that it wasn't the tube feeding that caused the problem. It was the not tube feeding. It was the letting them use the syringe. And um, let's just let's just say, because I want you guys all to know the way I think. Um, I worry that I could have been more careful about the syringe feeding. So it's not to say that we wouldn't ever do syringe feeding again, but of course, there's a part of me that wants to say, did I cause this, and how can I, prevent that in the future? And whether or not I end up believing that, anything I did caused it, it's certainly a good way to think about things so that you can um, work out ways to prevent it, whether you did or not. Does that make sense to everybody? So I just want you to know that don't want to talk about that too much. It's hard enough for me to contemplate, but I do still believe, as a couple people in the chat have said, yeah, the syringe feeding is more problematic than the tube feeding. It's one of the reasons why this is the first time I've done any syringe feeding in a long time because we were really preferring the tube, and this is sort of why. And then there's all the questions about, well, then why did we do it at all, and et cetera, et cetera. And look, there's no good answers for that stuff. Uh, if that even had anything to do with it at all, which is also a question. All I can really say for sure is that we're looking at everything we can and have done and making sure that we uh, set new rules for ourselves that make sure that everything's fine no matter what happened. So I think that's it. That's what I want to say. I hope that's clear to everybody. I know that was kind of awkward and fumbling. Really, the takeaway is that no matter what caused it, it's a time when we are going to make sure that uh, everything is a little better. So that's it, I guess. Whatever. I saw some people in the chat asking about the little black dots and stuff. I know I haven't brought it up enough because some people on our Discord chat were talking to me about how so many people on the YouTube comments are saying things about it. The little black spots are how we tell the kittens apart. It's food coloring. It's where's the food coloring? It's right here. It's black food coloring. It's a little dot of black food coloring. We've put one on each of the kittens. I probably should have talked about this right at the first so that people could all hear it. It might even be in a way more important than Dover's health. They each have one in a different spot, and where this spot is on the kitten lets us identify which kitten it is. For instance, this one down here by the tail is Bombay. It's because they all look so much alike, it would be very difficult to tell them apart without some kind of help. And I've talked before in to a long extent about why we don't use collars or other things on kittens that are this small. So I don't need to get into that now. But the little black dots are food coloring dots. That's all they are, and it's so we can tell them apart. And we've decided that that's the best way to do it for now. And if you want to use the dots to tell which kitten is which for yourself, there's a cheat sheet on our website, which is kitten.academy. It looks just like that. And it will tell you which kitten is which from where the dot is. So that's what they are. Yes, that's little Bombay walking around. They're all starting to get really good at lifting themselves up. They're getting much better at that. They're still not quite expert walkers, but it won't be long until they are. And this is our little Dover. He's the one that's inverted right now. Somehow he ended up backwards from everybody else. I can tell because he's got a dot in the middle of his back. And he's taking a little rest now after he got all fed up. His weights indicate that he's doing just fine this morning, too. So if you tune into the regular Kitten Academy live stream and you hear a little bit of whistling or snoring, it is almost certainly Dover that you're hearing. And there will be a lot of that going on for the next few days, at least. And hopefully it's kind of a good sign. Sorry, it's just I was trying to catch up a little bit on what people are saying on the chat. Um, some of these kittens are much bigger than the others. Our smallest one is Antwerp, who is well, I can't remember the weight chart. I did just take their weights this morning. I take their weights all the time, and if you want to see their weights, there's a link to our weight chart. It's linked in the regular Kitten Academy live stream here on YouTube. If you go to the Kitten Academy live stream, you scroll down into the description, you will find a link to the weight chart, and there you can check all their weights and see how each of them are doing weight-wise. And we've definitely got a big range because I think Antwerp has always been our smallest one and weighs about 7 ounces, might be closer to 8 now. I'd have to check, I'd have to actually look. And then our three biggest are all over 10 ounces. And 2 ounces at that, this size, that's a big difference for these kids. So yeah, there's definitely a range. We've got some that are very tiny and some that are quite large, relatively speaking. And then, of course, the giant kitten at the back is their mom, who is Port. And she looks exhausted. It's hard keeping up with 8 little boys, but she's doing a very good job of it. She had a big breakfast, too, so she's probably about ready to sleep that off. I can hear little Dover breathing right now. And it reminds me of a pigeon coop, actually. If you've ever been around a pigeon coop or pigeons, you know the little sounds that they make. Probably going to hear an interesting variety of noises from him over the next few days. Uh, and I know it's hard to wait when you've got a kitten that is a little bit under the weather. It's definitely hard to just sit back and be like, all right, we're doing all we can. We got to wait for him to get better. DJ's especially got a problem with that. I think tend to be a little more patient than she is in that regard. She kind of just has this tendency to be like, let's do everything we can, even when I shouldn't say it like that because we do everything we can. She wants to go over the top. She's the kind of like, well, if one antibiotic is good, let's give them a dozen. It's like, no, that's actually not good. You can't just do that. And she wouldn't, of course. I'm just saying, like, that's kind of the attitude that she's got is like, oh, well, if 1 milliliter of antibiotic is good, then let's give them 20 milliliters because then it's better and it'll be faster and we can just get it all done at once, which of course is not a real thing and she knows it. But I'm just saying that's, she's so, oh my gosh. So I understand that very well, that feeling, but this is a time when we kind of got to be patient and we got to know we're doing everything we can and just be patient. So that's where we are. It's funny. Everybody's facing one way, and he's had so much breakfast this morning. He's like, "No, I'm ready to just take a nap now." You'll probably see him getting a lot of extra attention from me too. So if you try to count all the kittens and you only see 7 in here instead of 8, definitely don't panic. I'm sure that means I've either got him for a spa treatment or just to hang out with me for a while, keep an eye on him, that kind of thing. That'll probably happen quite a bit. All right. Well, I'm not going to take us downstairs to see the Brady Bunch right now, but if you want to see the Brady Bunch today, I think they're on the regular Kitten Academy live stream right now. And even if they aren't right now, I've got a few things to take care of around the house after this close-up, and I will probably be letting them out to run around the living room. Hopefully that means you guys will be able to keep an eye on them, although I should mention yesterday, the Brady Bunch spent the night before last in the spa, and then all day yesterday they were out and had free roam of the house. And even though I brought them all downstairs in the morning like I do every morning, it seems like Flower decided she'd rather live in the spa, the master bedroom, and she brought herself and all of her kids up to the master bedroom and basically took it over all day yesterday. Even though the door was open, she could have gone anywhere. She decided that the master bedroom was her place now, which means that she wasn't on the live stream very much yesterday. Neither were her kids because there obviously aren't any cameras in there. That could happen again today. It seems like she really enjoys that as a place to be. So if it does, you got my apologies in advance that you won't be seeing too much of them. Yeah, I did see someone ask, "What's the spa?" I know I said the spa is the master bedroom, and actually, it all comes together because the reason that we sometimes or often call it the spa goes again back to Eucalyptus, the Yuki, the cat I was talking about in the last two close-ups quite a bit. When we started giving her steam treatments, we used the bathroom off of the master bedroom in the old house. And therefore, because of the steam treatments in the master bedroom, it just came to be known as the spa. And we still call it that. And it probably will never quite go away, but it's just the master bedroom. That's what we mean. I wish we could see more of these kittens' faces, but they are all over their mom right now. So I guess that's not the most entertaining thing. But there we go. It does seem like just yesterday that Yuki was here, but I've seen some photos of her online lately, and it clearly wasn't just yesterday that she was here because she is a big, floofy cat. And you can really see that she's got a lot in common with our Maggie. Magnolia Maggie was presumably her mom. We were told that Maggie was her mom, and if not actually her mom, then definitely related. So that's little Dover. I'm trying to get a view of him. When I hold the camera here, I cannot see the chat at all, though. Sorry about that. All right, buddy. Well, there we go. I think that we got that all covered. Um, yeah, I don't know about the way that he lays, whether it makes any difference. I will look into that. I saw a lot of people speculating on it. I'll find out. I know for humans, laying prone can make a big difference in that kind of thing. And for a kitten, I guess prone would be the usual way. Although these kittens, I did see someone asking about it. These kittens do sleep on their backs quite a bit. That's a regular thing for kittens. They all like to sleep on their backs quite a bit, so that you'll see too. I'll find out if there's any studies or speculation about if there's one way or the other that's better for him. Of course, that kind of thing is better on average, and nobody would expect him to be that way 100% of the time. Trying to make that happen would be problematic at best. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I need to cover that I didn't. I don't think so, though. So let me try to wrap up real quick by going over everything again real quick. And hopefully I'm doing an okay job with the summary and with everything. I try. Um, the short story, again, for people coming in late or that just need the summary at the end. Dover, this one at the end here, that's Dover, does have an aspiration pneumonia, is what it's called. It's basically when you get some stuff in your lungs that wasn't supposed to go there. So not air, basically. And we took him into the emergency vet last night to have it checked out. The good news is that from the X-ray there at the emergency vet, it's not the worst case. It's not what DJ would call florid. It's all pretty contained at the moment, and we're giving him all the proper treatments, and we expect a good outcome. So that's where we are. And then in addition to that, I know I mentioned the fact that DJ and I are having discussions about what she and I can do differently. I guess mostly I shouldn't give her any blame for that. What I can do differently to try to make sure that this is something that we didn't cause and couldn't cause in the future. So we're all in discussions about that. Of course, we don't know that we did, and plenty of reasons to think that we didn't. But nonetheless, it's good to evaluate your protocols once in a while and make sure that you're doing everything to your absolute best. And I think that's the important stuff. There you have it. So as you tune into the regular Kitten Academy live stream, you will definitely be hearing a little bit of Dover breathing here and there, and that's going to be normal at least for the next few days. And yeah, I did see the question come up again. It is definitely not contagious. There's no worry about him being with the other kittens. Absolutely not. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, hey, thanks. And one last thing. I usually say this when we have had a visit to the doctor, and it's important to repeat. Thanks to all of you. I know there are a lot of you that support us, support the kittens. I shouldn't say us. You're not supporting us. You're supporting the kittens. You really are. All that goes for the kittens. It's because of you guys that we're able to make sure that they always have the very best vet care. And you've been great that way for a long time now. So thank you to all of you too. That is that. I'll talk to all of you guys later on. Oh, look at that little cutie. I don't know which one this is. The spots are only good if you can see them. Super cute though. I think I might have forgot to say what I always say at the end, which is if you want to keep watching these kittens, the regular Kitten Academy live stream here on YouTube, 24 hours a day. You can watch them all day if you want. Thanks again, everybody. Good, buddy. You seems like you